I'm winging this one, but it's important to recognize what's happened in my life. And so, with the accusations of sexual abuse, they weren't just accusatory accusations, they were to purport the truth. Being, I was what, 4, 5 years old? 3, 4 years old, I should say, and I think my sister was 5 or 6, or 4 or 5. I think I was young. I think I was like 2, actually. And with my going to my mother about what my father had been doing, and going to her about suggesting that not only did I have the abuse happening to me, it was happening to my sister, and it was coming from all sides of the coin. So what the option was to get rid of me completely, because when my sister took stand, she prior to her taking the stand, she was threatened, and my mom couldn't even be in the courtroom. It was my dad that could be in the courtroom, the same person, and this should be changed in the system, but my dad could be in that room because you have the right to face your accuser. Much like the gamed up paperwork that they're not allowing me to even know who these ghosts are. Witness one and witness two should have their names on the record and be able to suggestively say what they're saying. Not ghost one and ghost two just to run game on me. That's not being very legitimate. But ultimately, it's not being legitimate. The point I'm trying to make here is that it's not being a legitimate system when the purported crime is against a minor child, their own child. And then on top of it, there was threats of not only violence, but complete removal of their lives. Meaning that it was said by my dad that he would not only take her life, but take her mother's life away from her if she were to say anything about what had happened as kids. Well, my brothers knew fuck well why I wanted to move differently in my life, and they didn't ever allow me to, and so much so that I believe wholeheartedly that they got the poisons from him to continue the poisoning that he was already poisoning me up with in my bottle. Basically, like suggesting that he's trying to put me to sleep like a rabid dog or something. But it was it was the sex therapist in the state of Minnesota, Mitnick, or Dr. Mitnick, that actually led the one in the state at that time, confirming that my sister's accusations were of the molestation, were of the rape. And so this is absolutely true, whether or not she could be heard in court that day. And my sister's personal testimony into my own testimony that I never got a chance to be able to reach because of how extenuating the circumstances were. My mom had phone lines cut, people paid off in the complex or of the places that we were living just to make it unlivable conditions for us as just regular human beings, not just clipped wires, but there was definitely, a purported crime is what I'm getting at. And so, with the accusations as they are, it whether or not they want to recognize them as true or not in the courts or in the state of Minnesota, they were true. There's no child that's going to come out with that that much of a monstrous event just out of what being 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. You got to be out of your mind if you think that. And so I also wanted just to say too here that I wholeheartedly believe that, with what's happened to me in my life, that even, my sister like can't handle these things happening anymore because of her health and whatnot. And she shouldn't have to. So if you're listening to this, compartmentalize or shut it off. But the fact of the matter is that I have a story too, that I never got to take that stand against my father. I never got the opportunity to take that stand against my father because of all of the blight that's been forcibly being placed in my life, and not only the blight that they've been leaving me within psychological damages, but through poisoning me, actually poisoning me to where I don't have the skull to fucking think things through, to suggestive to, oh, you're gonna be poisoned, and go, oh, I was poisoned. That's what I'm dealing with at 7 years old. No, you're not gonna fucking know anything. And so, it's ultimately what I'm saying is that I'm not bringing up the things from the past to bring up the past. I'm bringing these things up because of what's been happening throughout my life, and every single year, year in and year out of my life being controlled by proxy to suggest to me I have absolutely every right to speak for you. I have every right to speak out against these people, to be able to uh, get away with silencing me or get away with making my life into a rigorous hell, because her personal testimony and my own was real, and it was just as it was written. And so the fact of the matter is that Mitnick agreed. Mitnick agreed that these things did happen. There's no way that these children would be saying this based on anything that their mom is saying or anybody else is saying about even wanting to suggest that a marriage, you don't just get in and get out and go marry somebody else and consider yourself heaven made or heaven bound. As far as religion is concerned, I'm saying, as far as the religion is concerned, you don't have that option. It's not in the Bible, and sure, sin is forgivable, and that's why we forgive our enemies and forgive those trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. But it's not that we have to live with it. It's not that we just forget and go, oh, we can, you want to trust somebody, sure, but don't be dumb enough to trust them again if they're going to be continuously working in your detriment. They have no right to work in the detriment, but you have no you have no availability of yourself any longer to tolerate these abuses. You move away from these abuses, you set up that boundary, and if they cross that boundary, bam, done, gone. Leave me alone. They've crossed many boundaries, not only within my love life, my work life, not only within my mind and my mental health, but to push me in places that I couldn't see why I was going into these places. So I had been going through anger management, not knowing why I'm there. I had been going through domestic abuse classes, not really knowing why I'm there, not having the memory of why I was there in the first place. So they didn't actually ever want to allow my sister to be able to take that stand and be able to take that stand against my father based on the fact that he moved in the ways that he did. And he knows the fuck well that he moved in the ways that he did. And so the paperwork would side with the courts, where my mom didn't want to allow my sister or I to have to be going and being with the perpetrators of the evil. As so long as my brothers wanted to continue to purport and be in that kind of fashion, that's exactly why, in my opinion, long time standing after, to read through these court papers now, to realize that my dad wanted visitation rights with mainly Kenny and Jeff, my brothers, because they had been involved and indoctrinated into that crime, and so embeddedly so that they were psychologically and impressively unable to how would you say, compartmentalize or deal with their emotions correctly. And I forgive them. But can they forgive me for coming out forward about a whole long standing of a crime of 4 decades plus all over my life, running gambit all over my life with poisons, psychological manipulation, torturous abuse, all of this proxy made lover of quarrels, having to deal with Jesse Lee, and all of these proxy made relationships, meaning to stage my life in this fashion. Do the Lord's Prayer and forgive me. Same way I'm forgiving you. That's what it takes. But I don't think that they're doing the appropriate work there. They're not trying to do the appropriate work there because it would entail that I'm not able to be pushed inside of that fashion again. I'm calling back my energy. I'm putting up my boundaries. I'm saying no more. No more. I'm 44 years old, and to spiritually be made like I'm 5 or like I'm 10 and 15 and 20 and 25 in different areas of my life, it's really hard to deal with. Really hard to deal with. Especially when they didn't allow me to have a job. They weren't going to allow me to have a work life. They weren't going to allow me to have a love life that was organic and originally me being able to go up to a girl, get her phone number, have a real relationship. No, they always had to get in the middle of everything, or they actually had to set things up to where they were setting up the next person inside of my love life to continue the poisoning that they couldn't continue to poison me up with. Same thing with Jesse. That's why he was hacking me my whole life. That's why he was the hacker, not only younger years, but in Mounds View. That's why he was fucking hacking me when I was in fucking Fridley. Long, long time ago. That's why these things are happening, and that's why my journal went missing. Right out of my computer. Snatched it right out from underneath me. Because not only did he not want me to be reporting and writing in that way, to create my own journal, have my own journal, and think that I'm going to put this journal out there like Helen Keller. They didn't want me to be able to journal. They didn't want me to write. They didn't want me to think. They didn't want me to talk. They didn't want me to live. They didn't want me to breathe. They didn't want me to love. They didn't want me to eat. They didn't want me to work. Nothing. In my original person, my own self, to work out me the way I would have worked out to be me. And so I just wanted to state that I'm not bringing up old stuff to bring up old stuff. I'm bringing this up because this has been an ongoing battle inside of my life. And I have every right to fight and fight hard when it has to deal with these things. So I deserve an attorney to fight on my side. I deserve an attorney that's going to fight by my side to purport that I deserve more than a freaking Zoom call meeting that they can game up in any defense they can. They're not only sitting here trying to take away my car, take away my license, take away my ability of movement, take away my jobs, take away my water, take away my hot water, take away my electricity, take away the deed of my house, take away my house, leave me for dead so that they can come perform the rest of the identity erasure and identity theft all the way to home theft, utilizing my equity to do God knows what with. You know, I deserve a real go at life already, 44 years old, more than a Zoom call for what's purported as a felony when they're not even allowing me my rights right inside of the paperwork to suggest Ghost 1, Witness 1, and Ghost 2, Witness 2 is suggesting that I'm somehow a danger to my father when my father has been a danger in my life since I've been born. You know what would hurt a whole lot less? I've said it already. Just being shot to shit. My heart fucking hurts, G. My heart hurts, Dad. My heart hurts, brothers. My heart hurts, girlfriend after girlfriend proxy made. My heart fucking hurts, and not only hurts emotionally, it hurts physically based on the poisonings that they got in my body. It hurts based on being gaslit, going in for help, trying to get help within this situation. They're just trying to make it mental health. What are you, blind? Can you not put two and two together? 2 plus 2 equals murder Matthew? No, 2 plus 2 equals 4. Heck, 2 plus 2 equals 5 or 12 versus 2 plus 2 equals murder Matthew for saving face. And the fact is of the matter is that none of these attackers have the information because of how I told the story, how I put it out here, how all of us were abused. Every single one of us, including those brothers of mine that decided to work and continue to work in the fashions as they did growing up. They could have decided to do different by me. They could have not. They could have stopped. So my mom didn't know how to tackle all of this, the system, the unimaginable, crazy making, narcissistic, covert, very malignant narcissist that my father was, to take these things out and also attack just regular life stuff on top of the system. Who does? Who has time for it? There's only 24 hours in a day, not 48 or 72. And how do you have that energy when your energy is literally depleted too? I mean, just your body's energy, just normally from the abuse itself, but then the poisons on top of it. You only have so much time in a day. You only have so much energy in a day. You only have so much push. And that depression isn't depression. That depression is definitely oppression. These people are oppressing me like none other. Not only that, but their cowardice. Beyond imaginable cowardice, I should tell you. So, it was not only my mom's job to take care of us kids, keep a roof over our head, keep us housed, and keep us fed. But not only that, but she had to fight them, not knowing that that's what she was fighting. And and it's a bloody shame on those who don't understand that, because it's the truth. So, for those that have had to attack me, and attack me ruthlessly with poisons, trying to game up my life, the last position I had was running paper mills and making them different lengths and different sizes of different sized rolls and whatnot. And I've just been through that mill with all of this one day coming to me. And then every day from there, it's to snake me up away from any kind of normalcy in my own life, to work my own normal life the way I would have been living my own life. Do you feel? Do you know what I'm saying? If you don't have this total erasure effect going on inside of your life, you're allowed to live your life the way you would have otherwise been living it. You dig? I would way rather be out rollerblading. I would way rather be drumming. I would way rather be having a fire with my own brothers and family and having a cookout. Going to the beach. Going to the pool here in town. Having real times with real family, being real family. But that wasn't ever going to be allowed now, was it? No, that couldn't have been allowed, because if Matthew came back into himself from a very long-standing covert poisoning, which I was calling back my energy, and they almost left me for fucking dead after a cyanide attack, I believe it was. It wasn't to ever allow me into my own life to be lived at all. So, much like looking at me is like looking at a guy that would really like to live his life for a change, And instead of being able to live my life for a change, these people have just been running on empty now that I'm just creating reasonable boundaries for my own life in general, but my love life, my work life, my online life, or things that I would rather do online than this. You don't think that I wanted to come out here and create my website for Heartworks Charitable Envisions? I did. And I believe I wholeheartedly would have if I had the supportive support system that was sold to me as a support system. But that support system wasn't there. That support system didn't care. Because look, when I got this just today, and it's from my credit that they also tried to change my name of, mind you. And I realized that because I was in the homeless shelter and the same thing happened there, and I turned my name back to Matthew, not Matt. And then not only that, but there's all these soft enclosures for my credit, my credit report. Let me find it here. If I can find it. I think I went past it. Where is it? Well, Crimea River. What the heck? I just literally looked. Here it is. I just literally looked at it. So, they're taking out, if you ask me, it wasn't me, taking out soft inquiries for my credit on Credit Karma, 5/26 of 2025. That wasn't me. Soft inquiries on Discover, 10/1/93/86, all of 2024. That wasn't me. Credit Karma on 7/23 of 2025, 2 days before my own on credit. 2 days before my own on Credit Karma. The only one that was me was 2 days after that to get this paperwork in my hands right now. So you want to talk about identity theft, or do you not want to talk about identity theft? Because this is identity theft. It's talking about complete erasure. It's talking about stealing my home, property, my energy, my love life, my work life, every fucking last little part of my life away from me. And so if the system's just going to run game on the defense of these criminals, where does that leave me? I was born one day and I got wiped up all out of my skull till about a year and a half ago, and now I'm just going to be thrown into the slammer for a crime that I didn't commit. And if there is any kind of crime there, I'd like to see the damages. Report to me the damages, the emotional damages of my dad, or of Jesse or Johnny or Jeff or Kenny, and just a bunch of cowards that don't even have the availability to talk to me about anything. So like I said, I know God knows all of this stuff, but it's like I said, I'm winging this one because it's really important. It's the fact of the matter that this is identity theft. This is home theft. This is my work life theft. This is my love life theft. My own mind's mental ability theft by poisonings. My own heartbeat that I'm fighting hard for. I go out rollerblading. I can only go like maybe 1/10 of what I know in my core of myself that I'd be able to go out and do. Not to mention I'd be able to play the drums still and take out a lot of the aggression that I feel on my drums. But these abuses are more than people can comprehend, I guess. And yeah, my experience is more than what people can comprehend. And shame on the authorities that continue the abuse and don't allow me to say for myself what's actually happening in my reality. because it's my reality, and it's been my reality since I was a little kid, a little tyke. Shit, a baby in diapers. I was 3 years old, Dad. I was 3 years old. I keep praying for a blessing to come from the real world and other influencers in the world because I don't know how this works. It's a shame I'm actually out here trying to just take a nap here and there while ultimately having to be up by the window here and there just to see who's around. Do I have someone else to worry about? Do I have an unknown name and an unknown face that I don't know that I have to worry about based on these crimes happening to me left and fucking right? They got unknown names and unknown faces to work to get me into an accident when I was being a door dasher, working 120 plus hours a week to get the money put together in the first place to be able to have it snaked away along with all of my writing money on Steam backed dollars, Hive backed dollars, because my writing was important to me. My writing was important to me. I could give a fuck less if it was important to you. It was important to me. I needed to figure out a very insidious crime that was happening to me, sir and ma'am. And I feel like I've had every right to discover that crime against me. And here I am finding that my name's been changed. The deed of my house has been forged on so they could leave me for dead and complete the erasure of me. These people ought to be a damn ashamed of themselves, man. So yeah, I'm so tired. I'm so tired of this abuse. I'm so tired that I can't sleep. I'm so tired. You wouldn't even understand. You wouldn't even understand until you're in this. I know I didn't understand until I'm sitting here in this situation fighting for my life, crying out loud. I just have so much to fight that I legitimately have no fight left in me. And I literally have to fight further than that to get through the stages of my life to continuously fight. And just to be able to have little sessions to myself to where I get to laugh or get to find something of joy in my life, even if it's just a little joy. I have a right to that joy. You know the cup is not dirty. I just drink a lot of coffee. Or I don't drink a lot of coffee actually. I quit coffee for a long time there. I've just been drinking a lot of coffee today because it's nonstop in my life that I have to somehow protect myself and protect my boundaries and protect my life from these covert operators. But they want it to drain me up to where I have none of this at all anymore. They don't want me speaking out. They want to put up a campaign, a smear campaign version of me, so that they can snake away my life, my identity, take and be after meticulously taking down my online accounts, all of them. They don't want me to have an outreach of support. They don't want me to reach any authoritative figure or any kind of aggressive representation at all because they would go down for the crime that's left me so hard pressed in my reality that I've been mentioning to people about all of these things happening to me. And it just seems like, I know there's people out there that care, but is it soft care or is it hardcore like care? I know there's people that do care though, and I'm really grateful for those that do because I'm very appreciative of the Basil and the sage and the tomatoes and anything else that helps me. I'm very appreciative of a elderly couple that has helped me out with my yard. I'm very appreciative of other people as well. But the fact of the matter is that the thing that the actions that these people are taking should also put these brothers of mine to shame. When I've been asking for their help, I've been going, or and my own friend, I've been going to you for help, Sir Jesse Lee. I've been coming to you about what's happening to me in my life, and you are the person that was making these things happen in my life and allowing for more of this stuff to be continuing in my life. So I have some good information out here. I really hope that you go back in my work and you find some of my work that can resonate with what I have had going on at the same time as trying to create, especially my lyrical value mission, that you can resonate with. I'd really appreciate you on my work as far as that fashion. I'd really appreciate you looking at all the work that I had to do to take out my inner voice that has been suffocated for that long, to find the words to string together, to try and be a rapper or a hip hop artist or anything, any kind of genre of music that I could find that I liked, that I could work over. I'm hoping that I can get your support because it's a lot of information that I've put out there to this length, and I'm still hoping and praying for a blessing to come in the form of hopefully from the real world. Andrew Tate, I would like it to be specifically from. But the fact of the matter is I need an influencer of that type of support in my life. And I'm not going to say it to cry. But I hope it comes quickly because I need my freedom back like I've never been able to know freedom from anything. I've never been able to experience freedom, not even my own mind. So I'm doing this because I literally feel like I have no choice. I wouldn't be out here sharing this stuff if I had a healthy go at life and had a family support system that actually supported me. It's clear to me that my dad has not only needed me dead, but wanted me dead based on the fact that if I was to ever take the stand against him 30 years ago, he would have been fried. But instead of him being fried, these people made sure to fry my mind. And because they continued to run gambit on me, and I'm still here, they don't know how I'm standing. They don't know how I'm getting up in the morning. Heck, I don't even know how I'm getting up in the morning sometimes. Thank God for a little coffee. And just the sheer will, I believe, that comes directly from the Holy Ghost. But they want to tamper with all of this evidence. They want to tamper with everything that I have to come out here and just say, evidently. But I already know what they're doing to me. I already know what they've been doing to me. And at the same time, with my mind being unwittingly poisoned, it's espionage. It's identity theft. And it seems as well as all illegal activity that's being made kind of legal in that sense because, and no, it is being like it's made legal because I wasn't able to see these things back when. That I had no availability of my own sound mind and self control over what my mind was being put through based on me being a party of the unwitting poisoning of me continually by proxy. And so regarding me in my life, I have every right to speak out against these perpetrators of a crime. And it's a heavy crime. If you ask me, it's the heaviest of its type. So if Tom Martin was such a great man and a decent father, why would anyone think that these things would even be possible? Not only that, but other partakers inside of this crime. If there was any decent person inside of Jesse Lee telling me that if I needed a little bit of scratch or needed a little help with my yard or needed to use his van ever, that I could do, I could ask and I could get his help without any of that help actually being there for me. The only help that he was to come over here and try and help me rake, it only lasted for like 10 minutes. If that, like he didn't barely scratch my grass at all before trying to sneak up on me with something in his hand. So no, I took the rake back away from to get the fuck back away from me, G. I don't trust you anymore, and furthermore, I've been wanting to be polite about this shit, but you're giving me no other option. And he's still trying to take steps towards me. I said, do not take one more step towards me. I will knock your block off. You have no right to do whatever you were just about to do to me. None. Get the fuck back, go home, forget my name, and leave me the fuck be, dick. I've been nothing but a good friend to you, and this is how you're gonna fucking treat me? So, fact is that these people aren't good men. And there's nothing in either one of the statements that the prosecution can show without proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that I'm a threat at all. I've put out there multiple times, mind you, beyond me freaking out, having every right to freak out, saying that I'm a nonviolent person. If I was a violent person in the first place, living all 2 blocks away from my murder, don't you think that something would have been done already? No, I want my heartworks, man. I want my website. I want my life back, man. I don't want to go and hurt nobody, and nor do I care to. They're hurting enough on their own as far as an unnoticeable blink of an eye that this life is, as opposed to eternity. If they don't want to do anything about their own soul's reckoning as far as where the Lord is concerned, and if they don't want to believe in the Lord, they don't have to. You want to work in that way, you go work in that way. I don't want to be anything a part of you or a part of your life, and I'm calling back my energy to turn around my life to do what I wanted to do with my life. And if these people don't want to allow me into my own life and they just get to run gambit on me just because I'm calling them out for all of their crazy, these people didn't even want me to have a tool belt on, to go be a carpenter. These people didn't want me to do anything. They wanted to purport that way, but then when, he's almost getting through this stuff, it would be my brother disappearing, me sitting there inside of class crying, everyone knowing around me that I'm hurting. Oh, but did you brother? Did you brother? Did you hurt at all? Get the fuck out of here. So I'm tired of it because these have been brutal attacks on my life, and they have been nothing but listening to the stories and the lies upon lies upon lies upon lies and running with all lies. Some bigger, some smaller, but to the degrees in which they are being believed, they're running all over my life as though I'm somebody that I'm not. Or they're creating situations by proxy to make me out to be somebody I'm not, which I also felt like I caught on to at times, and I'm sitting there like writing up like scenarios, like being a kid, putting I put together I wrote up a suicide note and I put it inside of a CD case where I didn't think anyone would find it 2 days later or a day later, my brother finds it, runs game on me. Do you know how many of those that I actually wrote up because of what was happening to me in my life? Many. You know what I did with those letters? I I went and I went to the peninsula and I burnt them for my own prayer values with the Lord to offer the Lord something of what I had been feeling, what I had been going through, unable to reason through to figure things out, just wanting to run away, just wanting to get away, having nowhere to go. Underneath the bridge? That good enough for you, brother? Heck, I would even be doing these. Maybe I'd be somebody. Maybe I'd be sponsored by DW, drums, or Zildjian, or Manil, cymbals. Maybe I'd be sponsored by a skateboarding company. Maybe I'd be somebody. Did you ever think of that though? Your own little brother wanted to be somebody? Fuck you guys, man. All you've done is control my life, control my love life, control my work life, control my mind by poisoning me. By me being an unwitting victim of poisoning. This one lady tells me that nobody can control your mind but you. I said, yeah, they can. Oh, how so? I said, by being an unwitting victim to being poisoned, having poison put in your coffee, water, food, whatever they can put in front of you to carry out a poisoning, gaining your trust, love bombing you, psychologically manipulating you, calling up your jobs and telling them that if you keep Matthew on the payroll, something bad's going to happen. Click. There's so much to go through that it's hard to just get through it. It is. It's hard to get through it. It's hard to determine the time to eat, to clean, to sleep, to breathe, to work, to do anything. And identity theft, when you don't have identity, where do you think the integral parts of a person go? It's stabbing my integrity. So they're gonna try and make me an inmate because I've been an inmate in my own body the whole time, my own mind the whole time. I'm an inmate, not even knowing I'm an inmate because you wouldn't even be able to fucking reason through these things when you're fucking an unwitting party to a poisoning of this level. You know what it means when I blow smoke at you? It means I want you. I want your help. I want to love and be loved. I want to just be cared for. All right. I'm I'm not going to cry on here. Just if you support me, if you support my efforts, please do. Go back and my earlier works even. Find You know, the radio stuff that I wanted to make. 97.8 Love Lime Radio or Love Light Radio or any of my lyrical sessions. Look up Heartwork, hashtag Heartwork Lyrical Mission or Heartwork Lyrical Movement. The control that these people have had inside of my life is beyond imaginable. That's why I'm out here speaking out. So, I love and need your support, so I encourage it, and I hope that you can be in my content in that fashion and see that I'm trying to do better and better all of the time. I know that this is just winging it and trying to take it out here in a stance of like just putting it out here, but I don't feel like I have much of a choice. If they take away my house, they take away my love life, they take away my life, they take stabs at my life, they take stabs at my own ability to mentally do anything with the sound mind and body and spirit and soul. This is total soul erasure. It's total theft of me, you guys. And so I'm looking for supporters that can not only see that, but realize that with my network being so gamed up and me being back to 100 friends on Facebook as opposed to 1,300 or 1,800 or the one that you can still find that I have no control over. That's Matthew Murden on Facebook having, I think it was 3,800 or something like that. I don't remember. 3,300 maybe. Supposed friends on Facebook that I would really like your own network capability, your own ability to go online and create a campaign for me. Create $1 to $5 Warriors mission campaign for me inside of your church organization. Put me in your newsletter inside of your church organization. Or inside of any other organization that you work in. You work in a place that has 50 people or 600 people. Put my name up on the bulletin board. Matthew Murden at the number 1 Savvy Ninja on YouTube. I don't know, go on Medium for me. Go on 3Speak. Go on YouTube. Go on Rumble. Create something for me. Make something happen. Otherwise, they're going to put an innocent party inside of a very fucked up way. And if you ask me, it's not like the last 40 years of my life haven't already been fucked up enough. Thanks to my own bloody father and his own bloody, stupid ass fucking heart. But I deserve your support. That's all I'm saying. Thanks for being here, and until next time, peace, God bless, and take care of yourselves. I'm trying my best.